a special treat. I thought I was going to have to brave this alone, but we're going to give it a shot with Bobby's internet. He's joining us from his vacation, and yeah. Although I should say that I should probably kick you out. I mean, yesterday I did this alone. I ended up getting all the money, so maybe
Seriously,
maybe it's bad luck. I don't know. But
look what happened. I know it happened when with me too.
That's
When I
true.
kept coming, you were gone for that one. So I don't know.
That's
Maybe I'll
true.
just sit and listen.
No, it's true. But yeah, I want to. I was derelict in my duties today. I like other sweats going on, so I've said that I was going to go and bone up on who your top plays were, and I wasn't able to get to it, which is in a way
Well,
good.
actually wasn't able. I wasn't able to load it because I actually
Oh,
just got here beforehand. But I put in Discord my lineup builds, and I'll talk through all my
okay.
plays. So sorry about that, guys, with my plays. I'm in the middle of literally nowhere. It's amazing that we have internet. It's called New Kayama. If you guys want to check it out, this is literally in the middle of nowhere. Um, but yeah, I thought we could. I have a pretty narrow list of my plays tonight. What are you thinking sort of for your stacks, and who are you looking at pitching wise?
So when I did I did an early kind of look, and I wanted to talk through this with you because it goes along with people have been asking me all day about my process and whether I just like input my stuff and just let it roll, or whether I make some decisions and I X stuff out, or what times do I just rely on projections, and what times do I just override them, or whatever it is. And the answer is always kind of depends on the slate and depends on everything. And there was one particular thing I wanted to ask you about with this particular slate, which it's going to be a big decision of mine. But let me just first go over like who I have now, right? And then we could talk about who I might have to change to. So as far as pitching goes, I'm I'm pretty chalky. The Snell and what's his name? Snell and Gallen and dominate a lot of my lineups, as does Max Fried. Um, so and that's certainly nothing earth shattering about any of those plays. What was, I guess, sort of earth shattering, not earth shattering, is that I on DraftKings I didn't get to any of the two guys that are going to be the highest scorers probably. Between Nola and Cole, and that might be a mistake. But that isn't what I was going to ask you about. I'm going to get to it in a second. And then the other pitcher well, the two things I want to ask you about. I want to ask you about, as a possible pivot, Caprillion, and then I wanted to ask you pitching wise, like how mad would you be if I just X Snell out completely just on principle, having pitched a no hitter in his last game?
Actually, no problem with it. There's a lot of options. Um, he is in all honesty in my main lineup on DraftKings. I don't have him at all on
Yeah.
FanDuel, and I have two lineups on DraftKings that I'm playing, and he is in one of them.
Okay.
I think Zach Gallen he's also in one of them, and the other guy I'm using sheets, and I can't believe I'm doing this, is Jordan Lyles.
You know what you did last
I
time, and freaking I don't want to say he broke the slate, but if you played him, you probably had the optimal.
Yep. It was the right thing to do last time, and I didn't go with it, and I am not going to miss out on that again. I also think that you can make an argument for Arizona as a stack to get a little bit off the board. I really think either one option is fine. I mean, we know what Lyles is, and we know what happens with him. He's going to put up 20 something, or he's going to get -5. But I like the idea of using him to get a little bit different, and it does allow you to build differently. I have a very narrow pool, okay, of players. I understand I could make arguments for 500 different things on this slate. I'm actually leaving a little bit of money on the table in my lineups, because I just don't need to spend all the way up. I also think Garrett Cole's a fine option if you do find yourself with too much money. But I'm playing all the Dodgers, and I'm playing all the Giants. I don't care about how chalkiness of the Giants. I will offset it with my low ownership of playing a ton of Bellinger and guys like that from the Dodgers who have been terrible. I really, really like the Dodgers today. I think they crush Hap. Decent bullpen behind him, but I think this is a really good matchup for them, even without Muncy and Betts in the lineup. Not quite the lineup I was hoping for, but I really, really like the Dodgers, and they are going to be low owned because they are cheaper than the Giants in most cases. Same price as the Giants in most cases, maybe a little bit more expensive in certain spots. And I think that they're just a really, really, really good team to stack on this slate. I've been waiting for Hap to finally get an easy match. A matchup that he can get crushed in. He's been pitching against the Pirates like every other day. This is the spot where I think the Dodgers can explode, and I really, really like them. I have them on both sites. There will be 4 Dodgers in all my lineups tonight.
So for me, and this also goes to answer some questions people ask me about how I use the different tools to build and stuff. And people ask me, do I ever mess with the ownerships, or do you just take what SaberSim, for example, gives you after you, or whoever, when you put your lineups in? My answer sometimes I don't mess with the ownerships at all. Like yesterday, the lineups in, whatever, the ownerships came out, they just came out. That's what I got to. But today, when I uploaded my stuff and I put everything into the optimizer, even accounting for ownership fades, I was literally getting 100% San Francisco, right? And I quite honestly don't want 100% San Francisco, so I don't want 100% of any team in MLB. Is if I'm playing 20 lineups, so I just forced out 50% of it. So that's so it does depend on the slate. So I have as little of San Francisco as I can get, which is basically still 50%, and then the other main teams I have is, and we didn't speak before we did this. In my big lineup, I have the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are tied for my second highest owned. San Francisco being the top owned, and then after that is San Francisco. Then the other team I'm getting to is Tampa. Which goes against what I usually do, because they scored a carload of runs yesterday. But that happens to be who I'm getting to. I'm a little surprised I'm not getting to the guys that I thought I was going to get to. Like when I was going through the slate earlier, I'm like, okay, if you're going to pivot off of the Rocky, you know what I mean, the San Francisco. My favorites were going to be Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Kansas City. Like those are like the 3 that I identified earlier, but for whatever reason, I'm just not getting there. So Kansas City, I'm getting some, what's his name? Some Perez. So I'm getting a little bit of Kansas City, and I'm really just not getting much of any of the Reds, which is a little bit concerning to me. And I'm not getting any Atlanta, which is kind of concerning to me. So that's my hitting on DraftKings. What is do you like any of those teams, or you're just so concentrated that you're like more just all about the Dodgers?
Yeah, I do have some like I think Moustakas is like a free bat you have to play on FanDuel. In my opinion, not you have to, but I'm going to play him. I think that the Reds make a lot of sense. I absolutely think that the thing to do if I was playing more lineups, it would probably be the Reds. Then the Indians is not on the slate, but the Reds, and then probably KC, followed by, I do like the Rays idea a little bit, but I think the Reds make a lot of sense. I really do think that it's an opportunity where I'm just going to sort of put it all on the line and just play these Dodgers. I mean, look, there's obviously always a path to failure. I'm just not going to fade this. It's great hitting weather. It's J Happ, who I believe is a fraud. And I don't like the way the lineup shook out particularly, but I do like Souza. You could, for cheap. I just think that these guys are going to be owned, and no one's going to play Bellinger down batting 8th. I know he's been terrible, but I'm going to do it. Corey Seager is going to be completely unowned because of Ben Crawford. Chris Taylor will be unowned. Will Smith will be unowned, low owned because of Buster Posey. So I'm just going to lock and load that game. But I do think getting to some of the Reds certainly makes some sense if I was going to do that.
Yeah, on FanDuel, for whatever reason, I'm not playing. And that FanDuel was fun, by the way, yesterday. We literally built the monster lineup right here in this chat. We ended up.
Came top 10, right?
I got 9th. I ended up playing Steele as my pitcher.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's wild.
Yeah. And if he was 1 inning away from a freaking quality start, and then he just, it was so funny. Like, yeah, he got through the 5th totally unscathed, and he was getting to the top of the lineup though. And I was going to say, oh man, I should just, what am I rooting for even? You know what I mean? Because I just knew that his
Right.
luck was going to come to an end. But then again, I really wanted that quality start. Then luck through, and then he like loaded the bases, and they took him out. Then I hate when the guy loads the bases and the reliever comes in and gives up 3 runs.
Yeah.
Because you get dinged.
No, it's
Because you get
it's
dinged
so
for runs.
frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really
So
frustrating.
on FanDuel, I have a couple of interesting differences, I guess, as far as hitting goes. I'm getting to a little bit of Colorado. I'm getting a little bit of Cubs of all things, and a little bit of the
Yeah, I
Reds.
think Cubs.
I mean Phillies.
Yeah, I wouldn't stack the Cubs, but I don't mind like the Cubs, something like that.
Okay.
But I do think the Reds make a ton of sense on FanDuel. I think they're going to be owned on FanDuel and unowned on DK.
Okay.
But yeah, we do have some questions, some thoughts here. Ant-Man said, Banks, what's up, man? Yeah, good luck at 222 tonight to you as well. I just play a couple entries. Usually I would play probably like 6 to 10, but I'm just going to play one. I'm just going to play 2 tonight because I'm on the road and I don't like to get too heavily invested when I'm gone. But that's that. You know, I'm doing basically exactly what I was going to do. I'm just playing the Dodgers and Giants. And Kevin Wise asked us if there's any weather concerns. There's mild concerns in that Dodger game for a delay, I think. I don't think it'll affect my decision to play them. But that would be probably the most likely from what I'm at right now. Sheets, do you have anything else on the weather?
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, nothing that's overwhelming.
I'm going to take a look right now, though. It's kind of irresponsible for me.
Yeah, I'm taking a look. It's.
I see.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah, it's. There's a case. You could make an argument against Fried because Atlanta gets those weird pop-up storms sometimes, but I'm not using Fried to where it's that relevant. But if you do want to be scared off of it, I would understand. It's nothing really to be scared of, but I do think that it's there's always a chance Atlanta even when we don't know, like they just have those weird pop-up storms because of the way that just that everything works out there. So I just don't think we're going to see any real problems. And the Dodgers might get a little delay, but I don't care. It's not going to change me from backing them.
Yeah, interestingly, Bellinger, I only have him in my big one, which is fine.
That's fine. I mean, he's going to be. He's looked terrible at the plate for whatever it's worth. I'm still just going to play the long-term results when it comes to baseball. I'm not going to let that get to me. So I'm playing him too. But I mean, look, there's millions of different Dodgers you can play. Souza's a great option as well. We got Carnes asking, "What's up, Carnes?" In chat about if we're interested in Miley. I think that you could make an argument for him against the Cubs, but I'm just not going to go there. Too many actually really good pitchers that I like better, but I don't go that route. Anyway,
I'm just curious. What do you think would happen? So that everybody could just kind of theorize this. If I actually literally X'd out Snell, who would that get me to? Like what do you think my lineup would look like if I X'd out Snell? Let me just see. So, let's have some fun. So this is like my exposure with all this. So let's just say if I just said 0 to Snell, what that would do. Boom. If I went 0 Snell, that would make me almost 100% Gallen. It would bump Cole up, bump Nola up. But I'm more interested in what type of stacks I would end up getting. It would still get me San Francisco Dodgers, Baltimore. Baltimore, Tampa. So it's not changing that much. But what it does is certainly makes all my lineups more unique. I mean, because that's going to be. I mean, it's between Gallen and Snell. Those are the 2 highest owned, I presume.
Yeah, I think it'd be Gallen, Snell, and I think you'll get a lot of ownership on Fried as well. But
Okay.
I don't have any reason to fade Snell here. Like I'm not like saying you need to win. Yeah, I just don't think like I'm not worried about him at all. I think they're going to ride him. The Padres are in must-win mode. They've been riding him pretty hard his last 6 starts. Actually, no, his last 7 starts. So I think it'll just be the same again. Now, whether you think the Angels hit him or not, that's up to anybody else to interpret. But I think I really like him. But if you want to fade him, go ahead. There's plenty. I mean, there is really good options. It is kind of weird. And Garrett Cole will get some ownership, but like I'm playing Garrett Cole on FanDuel because there's plenty of money to save. Cole and Nola are the only pitchers I'm using on FanDuel, so I guess I'm not using Snell over there. But there's plenty of good options, so you definitely can argue for the fade. And I don't think the ownership though is going to be out of control on him. Though I don't think you're going to see like 60% or something. I mean, it's going to be like 35%, right? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
The
Adam, what's up, man? Saying hello to Adam and Chad and Rody. No problem, man. Happy to do the live. I'm glad we were able to get together on it.
Did you record football?
Not yet. No, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow you're doing that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so happy I don't have to record football with you guys. I hate football.
I know I'm a little behind in my research.
I hate
too,
football.
But
I'm all ready. That'll be my.
Oh, you're ready to go, huh?
That'll be my new rap. I hate football and then win the million. That's my plan.
I love it. That sounds like a good plan to me.
I like it. But what I am going to do, guys, just so you know, I'm at the Open tomorrow. I haven't been in 20 years, I think. And so I'm not going to be recording tomorrow. I might be back for live. I'm not sure. And so I'm not going to record football with these guys, but maybe Thursday I'll definitely going to do a Survivor thing along with the other sports or whatever. Then I'm gone for the weekend. But maybe depending on the thing, if you guys want my football takes, I'll happy to throw them in there. You know what I want to do? I'm going to do the same thing I did yesterday. I want to build another FanDuel lineup. If anybody's interested, just using whatever, just kind of a lower. She's
just crushing. Just follow what he's doing, and we get in trouble with FanDuel. We'll show you exactly
so what I'm looking at, like right now, I see the pitchers on FanDuel as being a little more spread out as far as ownership goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird to me that people aren't going to play Cole over there because money's not really an issue.
Right. But the team that I was talking about in my video that I could get to a little more on FanDuel that I couldn't really get to on DraftKings was San Diego. So
yeah, I like that.
I wonder what that would look like. This is actually interesting. Tatis is a shortstop on FanDuel, but an outfielder on DraftKings. Sort of interesting. All right, so if I did that.
Yeah, they've been doing that with him lately. It's weird.
So it'd be Tatis. And this is I did this exact thing in the live video too. In the video too. Myers. Cronenworth shortstop nowadays? No. What's Cronenworth?
He would probably be the second on FanDuel. I think they have him at second base right now. Is that right? They keep mixing it up.
First base.
There you go. FanDuel. It's just really weird what's happening. We these sites should get together and at least agree on positions.
And then the other one, what I want to do is I want to do a non-San Francisco one, like double non-San Francisco. So for me, it's like going to be Atlanta, San Diego, or San Diego. Yeah, it's going to be Atlanta, San Diego, I think. So what you could do there is see that way I could use Albies, right? So let's get second base, Albies, and then if we can get to Freeman, that'd be awesome. But Duvall.
You can do it.
No, I mean, and still use Cronenworth. Duvall. Well, we could play Soler, obviously. And I'll choose between Freeman and whatever. And so what I wanted to do is what pitcher do I have to use to be able to do this? So who's the cheap guy? Gallen, right?
I'm not using Gallen on FanDuel, but I understand if you want to. I mean, Aaron, I don't know, how cheap do you need? I can't really see your thing.
Oh, you can't see this?
I can see it, but I can't see the price. I mean, it's just so small.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
How much do you have left?
Well, if I put Gallen in, that leaves me with only 2,100 for one more position. So that I definitely need at least that cheap. Is there a 2,100 utility?
Luplow or what isn't Souza about the same over there?
Let me see.
Luplow and Souza would be my guys. Actually, I don't even have Souza's price on.
Or Oliveras.
Or Oliveras. Yeah, I do have Oliveras in one spot.
But he's hitting 7th. Okay.
Or, I mean, Pujols, it doesn't feel like because you're not going to get the full million at bats out of him. But, I mean, I guess if they score like 10 runs, he might get all the at bats out of him. You also, what about your man Sheets? Play Sheets.
What's his price?
2,100. I'm telling you, every time I ever mention his name, he hits a home run. So at least one.
The only thing I would say though is that what's another good? Can I pair a KC guy? And I'm using Oliveras just to make it look pretty. I could just use him like this. So this has the San Diego guys. This has whatever. It's got 0 San Francisco. Who says this has to lose?
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
We're going to find out. All right. Ship to 100,000. Easy game. So we don't have. So somebody asked about Wade Miley, right? You know what's interesting? You know what we haven't heard about? I mean, I haven't heard about in a long time this season. Was wind stuff in Chicago? Is that only usually in the early part of the season?
No, wind's blowing out in Chicago right now.
Oh, okay.
It's a good day to play that game. That's why I like the Cincinnati side. But
okay.
I think they'll be popular on FanDuel and not as popular on DraftKings, is my guess.
Okay. Let's see.
And I think I'm pretty. I mean, this is pretty much all I got, guys. If there's any more questions or thoughts, drop them on in there. We've got sheets building over here, but I don't have a whole lot of other things to add to this slate. I love it when it gets later in the. Hopefully the weather doesn't come back to bite me tonight. I mean, by saying this, but I think we should. Assuming the weather is okay, it's not a whole lot else to go through baseball wise unless we have some questions. I think. But by the way, who do you see?
Well, it's the quarterfinals, so it's two women whose name I can't pronounce, and the men it's Zverev and Harris. So it's gonna, dude. I'll tell you, man. I was watching a little bit today. It's an incredible match between two women. One of them's Canadian who won in 3 sets. Just awesome stuff. So. And I haven't been in a while, so I'm looking forward to it. Got two good matches.
That's pretty fun. Yeah. I'm jealous.
Yeah, 2 good matches. I still have to decide whether we're going to drive or Uber over there. It's probably better to Uber over. Parking can be somewhat problematic.
An issue, yeah. We've got DF saying Angels versus Snell. I think that would be a really bad idea personally on this slate. But if you feel it, go ahead. I'm not going to tell you can't. It's baseball. Everything can happen. You got probably the best bullpen in baseball, maybe the second best bullpen in baseball, 1 or 2 between them and Tampa. I'm not going to try and stack. And Snell is he walks and get hit at times, but who do you really want to play on the Angels? I'm not interested in it personally.
The other thing I would say, by the way, is I had a couple of an hour ago I did a build, and just for fun I ended up with some 3-man Texas stacks against Gallen, and it made a lot of sense because the guys that I had I kind of like to play, and it turns out he ended up scratched. I mean there's no Garcia, there's no Connor Falefa. I mean, who's Texas rolling out there today? I mean this is gonna be I could see why Gallen's gonna project high ownership.
Yeah. Jamie likes the mini Yankees stack. He's saying I can get behind certainly. I have a little judge. I could see getting a couple Yankees. I'm not particularly interested in the stack, especially with the umpire. You've got who's that in that game? A lot of pitchers, umpires on the slate here today. A lot of extreme pitchers splits here. So Yeah, and I'm looking at RG right now, and it's like you've got Bill Miller in the Seattle game, Seattle-Houston game. You've got Ryan Blakeney for Garrett Cole. He's an extreme pitchers umpire. Actually, a lot of extreme umpires all around. You have extreme hitters in Colorado, so that's always interesting. But you do have the extreme pitchers in that New York game, which I just don't really have the interest in the hitters.
I really like that, Rody. Braves and Reds. I mean, that's what I came up with earlier, and I don't know why I'm not doing it. But yeah, I definitely like the Braves, and I definitely like the Reds.
Yeah,
I'm using Turner. Are you using Turner, Bobby?
Both Turners I'm using.
Oh yeah, he meant Justin Turner.
I think just for what it's worth, I do think that Braves and Reds is basically the chalk outside of San Francisco on FanDuel. On DraftKings, I don't think it will be as much.
Okay.
Just for what it's worth.
What about Kansas? What about Kansas City? You like that at all?
I can definitely get behind it. I'm not doing it because I'm not playing enough lineups, but I'm always a sucker to try and stack against Baltimore and Baltimore. And I think that there's a lot of ways you can go about it. I do think like Witt and Perez are going to be fairly owned on FanDuel, but I don't think they're going to get a ton of ownership on DK. Yeah, so I can definitely get behind the KC stack for sure.
And the other one that I talked about earlier, I just wanted to ask you about was any Baltimore or?
It's fine for me, but I don't think I would fully stack them on this slate personally. I think you are going to have some pretty high ownership on, especially on FanDuel for DJ Stewart and Cedric Mullins. Okay. But I think it's fine. I have Austin Hayes in a couple lineups. I don't have any interest in the stack really, but I'm certainly okay with any of those bats.
Mullins priced up on DraftKings a little bit finally.
Yeah, feels like the guy deserves it. He's freaking awesome.
Yep. Meanwhile, I identified the winner of the what's going to be the optimal pitcher when I opened up my mouth during the video. I suggested probably the worst price of the season is Logan Webb at 9,500.
I actually think that there's definitely merit to playing him.
I know. That's what I was saying. And then I looked at him like, who's playing Colorado? He is pitching against Colorado.
He's Colorado. Unfortunately, doesn't have the Anyway, doesn't have the great umpire for him, but yeah. Banks asked me about Nola. Yeah, I do like Nola as my favorite pitcher on FanDuel. I think the upside is tremendous for that price. So he's who I've got as my number one over there.
Oh yeah. So wait, I was gonna ask you about this before. Do you like anything? It's such a freaking awesome looking pivot. I mean, do you like Caprillion at all?
Not particularly. I could see it happening. He hasn't looked good, but I just am not going to go there personally. Okay.
Because you usually I don't want to say the Caprillion whisper. You tend to take a look, at least a nice long look at him when he's.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that the White Sox don't walk a ton. Like there's some strikeouts in that lineup, but I just don't think that. I just think there's better plays. I think personally.
Okay.
You know my feelings about pitching. I'll get different. Like I'm playing Jordan Lyles on the lineup. That's already different. You know what I mean? but at the same time, in general, I don't think you need to go crazy when you've got such good pitching options. And I'm really just playing Lyles because I think that the leash for a guy who's 5,600 is just tremendous. And we've seen him, 2 out of 4 games he's put up 25. This is a pretty soft matchup for him. It's basically as good as it gets almost. So I don't really mind using Lyles on DK, but I wouldn't. Even on FanDuel, I mean, I just don't think I need to get
So what's the idea? He's going to come in like the third or something?
Is that what? Yeah, that's what they're going to. That's what I think the plan is. It's a little nerve-wracking. I mean, now that I think about it, I wonder if I'm just sort of trying to be a little bit too cute with this. I don't really understand why you'd have an opener for a guy who just. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the reason why I think it might be getting too cute also is usually, I mean, when I think about playing the long relievers, for a good part of that equity is getting through the fifth and getting the win, right? For somebody like that, and considering, that Texas is throwing out just nobody hitting wise, and Gallen is such a strong player on the other side. I don't know where the I think that.
Well, you don't need
that
to win on FanDuel. I mean, on DraftKings, you don't need to win. It's just weird to me that they're doing this with him. Why would you just take a guy who's thrown 110, who's thrown a million pitches every start, and bring him out of the? I just don't understand. It's why teams are insisting on doing this. It does make me a little bit nervous enough to where I probably will take him out of a bigger buy-in lineup because I just don't think I need to do it. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen this happen where that guy's supposed to be a long, reliever, and then it doesn't even end up pitching at all. So I probably will stay away from it. Probably the better thing to do is get up to one of these guys. One guy who no one's going to play today, and this could definitely go one of two ways, but we did see Odorizzi just pitch a really good game against Seattle the other day. He's got a great pitcher's umpire tonight. He's got Bill Miller, the best one in the business for umpire-wise. And I think he's just an interesting guy at 7,500 who everyone's going to look past. I actually like him a little better than I like Caprillion if you're going to spend down.
Yeah, that's what Project Mayhem just actually came in with that, with any love for Odorizzi. So, yeah. Ask and ye shall receive.
Odorizzi, Miley, definitely both of those guys are interesting pivots around Gallen for me.
So let me ask you this. For San Francisco, Bobby, as you guys know, I mean, he's really, really good at figuring out how to play chalky stacks, but not playing them in a chalky way. Like, is there any particular guys in San Francisco you think can fly under the radar that you're going to be using more, or?
Bottom of the order, I think is your best bet, but I think that I love Yastrzemski. And then Duggar is like, you don't need to spend down, so you can just play Duggar like at 2,600, where he's going to be like the low owned one. So I would probably go like 7, 8, like 1, 2 kind of a thing. But I'm playing them in combo stacks. I'm just not playing I'm not playing 5 of them. That's just my rule. I'm just playing 3 or 4 of them with my Dodgers. That's basically what I'm doing with them. So that'll at least get me a little bit different. Just in the sense that I won't fully be stacking them.
I'm just saying. I mean, I listen. I like this guy. He's like I like playing this guy in stats. I just like playing him in general. But it's kind of funny that you presume that the leadoff guy for the Giants in Coors at 3,300. You have to presume he's going to take a carload of ownership, right? I just want to point out that in the last 6 games, he's combined a total of 0 fantasy points. I'm just saying.
Wait, who is that?
Tommy LaStella. Tommy LaStella.
Oh, I know. Yeah, absolutely.
Literally not a single. Well, then again, he's only 1 at bat, 3 at bats, 1 at bat, 1 at bat. Okay, fair enough. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, but still, there's definitely a good argument to fading that one. Maybe you go 7, 8, 2, 3 if you want to get a little bit different with the Giants. But I just think if you really like it, I really do like the Giants today. I think that they have a very high fail percentage. We really think you just need to do the full stack. That's my way around it personally.
Okay. Buster Posey.
He's automatic. These guys are going to be so popular.
You know what Buster Posey at 4,400 does? That makes freaking Salvador Perez a great play again.
Absolutely. And Will Smith, even like Smith in general against lefties as much. But Will Smith is the guy no one's going to play. So I am on board with that.
Rody, you're 100 short from Gallen. You know what that means? I know what that means. That means it means you can get in Caprillion.
It also means you can get Odorizzi.
And it means you can get Odorizzi.
I might have to jump in just a minute because let's see. Yeah, I might have to run in just a minute. Is there any other thoughts or any questions that I may have missed in here? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, I don't think there is anything else, right?
Yep. I mean, hey, let's keep it going. I only won 2 GPP so far today. So I got.
Oh my God! Did you really?
Of course.
With the LOL?
Yeah, of course.
Beautiful.
Of course.
Beautiful, man. It's crazy. It's this guy got a rush right here.
Just got to win like 10 of those GPPs to make up for 1 day of MLB buy-ins. That's it.
Yeah.
That's a good question, by the way, Odorizzi or Capicoli. Maybe Bobby's right.
Yeah,
maybe Odorizzi.
I think it's the Odorizzi by a little bit. I don't think it's a huge gap. I could see Caprillion really getting hit hard. I could see Odorizzi getting hit hard. I prefer not to play the. I mean, I would prefer not, but I do have Odorizzi in one lineup. I don't have any Caprillion.
Okay.
So I can only say what I'm doing. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to say good luck tonight. I know Caprillion projected. Go ahead to play Caprillion. I think that's totally fine. I just think that I personally like between the Mets and the fact that you've got the Bill Miller factor, right? I'm in the right game with this Bill Miller, aren't I? I better be, because that is a big boost. There is a short. Brilliant has a much longer. Well, probably has a longer leash than Odorizzi does, but he also has a much tougher matchup. So it's just, I guess you could decide whichever way. Yeah, you got Bill Miller in that Odorizzi game. That's if all things are
equal. Adam, I'm with you. I'm very surprised I was able to take that other one down, considering I'm pushing my luck with the Jewish holidays, gambling on Rosh Hashanah. It's not the best. But you know what? When the market was open, let's put it this way: I gambled a hell of a lot more in the stock market than I did on DFS.
Yeah.
If it's good enough for the market to be open, it's good enough for DFS to be open. That's my motto. All right.
Yep. Good luck to everybody.
Yep. Good luck, and yeah, I'll try to make it back for live tomorrow.
Excellent. I'll be there for live. I'm going to try to see if I can get a quick video in the morning. But yeah, guys, good luck. Let's crush it. Keep it going, man. Keep winning. It's awesome.
I'm trying. I'll talk to you later.
Good luck, everybody.
Bye.